Good afternoon, Alex. Lafayette police have confirmed that one person has been shot. Now, I'm going to give you an idea of what the scene looks like here. There is an armed suspect in a home off Railroad Street. One project after another after another. It's hard to escape construction in Lafayette. And while it's a headache for drivers, city leaders say these projects are actually a sign that the city continues to move forward. The victim noticed she was being tailgated when she looked in her rear view mirror. She was then run off the road and robbed at gunpoint. Drowning is the #1 cause of death for children 1 to 4 years old. It only takes seconds for a child to fall in and die, which is why parents are being reminded to keep a close eye on their little one. Nearly 27 million Americans fell victim to phone scams last year. They lost a combined $7 billion.
And the Attorney General says the problem isn't going away. It's actually getting worse.
As a mom, do you think that this is something that you'll ever fully heal from after losing a child?
Oh gosh, Krista, that's a hard question. A hard question.
In part 2, I sit down with several other families from our community and hear their stories of life after their loss. Here's a look at what I'm working on for tomorrow. How do you get by after losing a child?
It's only by the faith that you walk.
Very few details are known at this time, but what we can tell you is that the initial call came in at about 9:40 this morning when 2 men walked into this Salem bank here in Flora. Good morning, Alex. We're back here at Arnie's to celebrate its 50th anniversary today. A few minutes ago, I was put to the test. I made an Arnie's pizza. Brad, what did you think about? How did I do?
Not bad.
Okay, are you going to join me for a piece?
Absolutely.
Let's taste this.
Absolutely. Cheers.
Cheers.
News 18's Krista Henery is live at the banquet hall right now. She joins us with details of Cruz's first Indiana appearance. Krista?
Well, good afternoon, Jeff and Gina. Yes, several people already making their way into the banquet facility here where the GOP spring dinner is expected to start at 6:30. Now, this comes just a day after Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump made a stop in Indianapolis. We're told that Governor Mike Pence and Senator Ted Cruz are wrapping up their one-on-one meeting at the governor's mansion right now before heading to Primo's Banquet Center.
New this morning, we are sharing the story of a young boy with a big heart.
10-year-old Peter Greer has taken it upon himself to spend his summer giving back to other children in our community. He's collecting used bikes, repairing them, and turning what was once junk to one kid into a gift for another. In the back room of Union Street Auto Sales, you'll find 10-year-old Peter hard at work.
Put all this stuff back in.
He's spending his summer going to work with his mom, but Peter has taken on a job of his own.
We have big bikes, small bikes, mountain bikes, little girl bikes.
People have donated bikes like this purple and pink one to Peter so that he can find a new home for them. Who would you give this bike to?
I don't really know. A girl who needs it.
For each bike, he has a different job to get done.
It's rusty.
Some need new tires, and some need a paint job.
Primer. Black. You want to have more than one layer of paint. That's why I'm painting it where it's already painted. Sometimes it takes me a week, maybe 3 days. It just depends on what it needs. I'm out.
But all need a new home.
There. I look for what problems they have and then fix that and then give them away.
Peter was able to give Dalton Hughes a bike.
I kind of feel lucky because, I've never, just had somebody give me, a bike like that.
But for Peter and Dalton, it's more than just a bike.
And they got their bike and then came back and rode with me and our friends.
I'm thankful that he was, nice and he was caring.
makes me feel good and happy that I'm helping other people. I'm done.
He is such a neat kid with such a big, big heart.
No kidding. To spend your summer fixing up bikes for other kids.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So he has about 60 bikes. Now the problem is he doesn't have enough kids to give them to. So he's looking for kids in the community or teenagers in the community, people in the community to give these bikes to. So later this morning on our website, I'm going to have how you can get in touch with him and get a new bike this summer.
How selfless. That's
Exactly.
awesome. Thanks for telling us about that.
They look at you, you look at them, and then it's over within seconds.
It's a train conductor's worst nightmare. Seeing a car in their path and not being able to do anything about it.
We don't have control over being able to stop or swerve. It's going to take us approximately a mile to stop. It's kind of like a car driving over a soda can. It smashes that soda can, and that's pretty much what the train does with the car.
The conductor we talked to for this story asked to remain anonymous because of pending litigation. He's been involved in 4 fatal crashes. He says all of them were unavoidable.
The first one, the kid slid on ice and went right in front of us. And then the second one, she looked like she was going to stop and just kept rolling. The third one, he ran behind the train that cleared, and then we were coming on the other main. It eats at you because you feel you're kind of the last person that saw that individual before the accident.
According to the Indiana Department of Transportation, there are nearly 8,000 railroad crossings in Indiana. Nearly 6,000 of those crossings intersect with public roads. The rest are considered private crossings and are located on private properties like farm fields. According to the Federal Railroad Administration, Tippecanoe County alone has 170 crossings. In the past 10 years, more than 60 accidents have occurred on the tracks in Tippecanoe County. Of the nearly 6,000 public crossings in the state, 30% have flashing lights and gates. About 23% have flashing lights only. The remaining 48% have stop signs plus crossbucks only, or just a simple sign. But who decides which safety feature goes at which crossing? According to Debbie Calder at INDOT, she says they evaluate the crossings every year and then make those decisions based off certain characteristics.
The amount of vehicle and train traffic at that crossing, the speed of the trains and the speed of the traffic, the crash history at that location.
Calder says they then make upgrades with federal funds through the Highway Rail Crossings Program, commonly known as Section 130. About $7 million is distributed to upgrade 20 to 25 crossings every year in the state.
That goes to upgrade the most hazardous public highway crossings, which are identified with federal highway assistance.
Once upgrades are made, Calder says railroad companies assume responsibility for maintaining the tracks. But even with safety precautions in place, the conductor we spoke to says he often sees people in a hurry and disregard the measures altogether.
I think it's the day and age where we're all worried about where we're going and how fast we got to get there.
Take a look at this video taken in Tippecanoe County that a viewer sent us. The crossbucks are down and lights are flashing, yet 12 cars go through this intersection. According to Indiana law, drivers are required to remain stopped until the train passes. In instances like this, where we were told there was a malfunction, the law still requires drivers to find a different route or remain stopped until they're directed by emergency personnel.
Take your time, because it's 2 minutes of your life, or it's not going to be a life at all.